Hello there. Right, now this seems to be any normal K2. It looks like the first version that's been modified with a switch to be on and off. However, this is one of my own little modifications. It's the second part of the K2 where you got the on-off switch, and what this switch does is activates and deactivates this light here. Now the reason why I do that is because I use that light to power this box with 10 LEDs on. Now I didn't have any green LEDs, all I had was the red and blue, and this is the box. 3 one side, 3 the other, and 2 at either end. Plugs into the side, and basically when something flashes this light, it will move the LED to a different position, as we'll see. So if I turn that on, that turns on but does absolutely nothing. Let me just grab a magnet and show you. As you see, that LED doesn't change position. Now if I flick that switch, now it's engaged. So even before I'm pulling the magnet close to it, it's moving the position. So even with a little bit of a movement, it will change position. Now the reason why I've done this is because if you're looking in a big room and you hear a noise and everyone turns their head, nobody at that one point is watching. That's my mobile phone. You can tell that it's going da 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 da. So yeah, if you're looking at somewhere else in the room, nobody is watching this. Now, if for instance this one starts flashing, none of the others, just that one, and it does it really quick, everyone will miss it. And this is the point of this box. But basically, when it changes, when this one flashes, like it just did, it would move to a different LED. And that's my little modification. It took me about 15-20 minutes to make altogether. However, I am competent at soldering. There is a little bit of electronics inside. There's an IC chip, resistors, obviously, whatnot to run the LEDs. It runs the power directly from the battery inside here via the switch, so when I turn this off, that turns off as well. And it seems to be very useful, because obviously you can't be watching this one little light for what seems many hours. You know, with this device you could go away and come back, and if it's in a different position, you know something has set it off. Now you do get quite an interesting effect when it's quite violent. As you can see, it's going through all the LEDs, and the magnets I'm using are neodymium, so they do produce quite a strong force. The next thing I want to make is a magnetic EM pump, but that's something for the future when I've got a bit more time. Right, I hope you like this idea. If you want a bit more info, just drop me a message and I can supply you a bit more. If you need to see what's on the inside, basically it's where this LED comes in. I've spliced the track. I've come from one side of the track to the one side of the switch, the other side of the track to the centre of the switch, which is closest to the IC inside here. The other side then comes to this, which then operates that as a clocking mechanism. So each time that flashes, even if it's really quick, the IC in here notices and moves the LED sequence. Anyway, catch you soon. Oh yeah, this is just an update of the box. Instead of using red and blue flashing LEDs, which is very bright, caused a few problems at night in the dark for blinding you. It ends up, because it was on the side, if it ends up on your side, and it was there for a while, it starts to hurt. What you can see that's activating this is the actual Wi-Fi from this phone. Gives a pretty good demonstration. And if I pull that back, you can see that it moves and it's not even lighting up. So that's how sensitive this device is. I mean, I could move it closer and you could start to see the other lights flash. And that's it updating to the network. You can see it da 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 da. And that's what I like about this box. If I flick the switch, so it would activate and deactivate. You see how fast that little green light is flashing? You might miss that. And when that obviously moves around to a different position, it's a lot more noticeable. Let's re-engage it. Having a few phone signal problems. I think they're doing some work on the mast. But you can tell which one is the Wi-Fi. It just goes through quite steady. So yeah, these green LEDs are not as bright as those blue and red. They're still bright, but because they face upwards, they're not going to shine in anyone's face. So yes, there you have it. I hope you like this, and who knows, if you want one, I'll try and sort you out if you're a dab hand at soldering. It's not hard to build. It's hard to make if you ain't got the correct tools, but yeah, there you have it. Anyway, must away.